the Super Bowl.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm chasing a misfire. The misfire is on the number 2 cylinder. You've seen in past videos, I did change out the ignition coils and also changed out the spark plugs. And so I'm not sure where this misfire is coming from on the number 2 cylinder. So I just want to run through a few checks to see if I can figure out what it is. So hopefully by the end of this video, I have resolution to the issue. All right, so been having this odd mist going on, and it appears to be the number 2 cylinder. So I ended up changing the ignition coils around to see if that moved the mist from one cylinder to another, but that didn't happen. And so the number 2 would be on the driver's side, the one closest to the front of the car. And so then I checked the gap on the spark plug. The spark plug wasn't fouled. The gapping was spot on, but I'm still having this mist. And so I'm thinking maybe it's a fuel injector. Maybe it's got it clogged up somehow. I ran some injector cleaner through there. No change up there, although, technically it could still be the injector. But then I started thinking, because it just started happening recently. And so I was wondering, what have I done to the car recently? And the most recent thing would have been I installed an amp in here, subs and an amp. And I started wondering, is that causing my mist? And it's not all the time. Sometimes it just runs, purrs like a kitten. Another time, boom, boom, boom. So today I'm out driving and the mist started happening. Then I started noticing the mist was almost in sync with the bass hitting. But now, to be clear, I'm not always playing the music. The amp comes on, of course, but I'm not always playing music when the misting is happening. But I did notice when I was playing music and the bass was hitting that the misses were almost in sync at times with that. So I start running, wondering if that could be the cause. And I wanted to give you guys an example of my missing. So if I go here to my Air Force, I go in here, oops, let me try that again. And I go down, they have one that measures your misfires, which would be right here. And let me see if I can get you guys in close there. So if you look up at the number 2 one, right now it shows 2 misses. You see on the far right hand side, number 2 cylinder, and then there's the count right by there. Now it's showing some on number 3 too as well, a couple of them. But sometimes it's being kind of quiet right now. I don't have the music going too either, so I'm not sure if that's affecting it. But sometimes those counts will get up to 11, 13, 17. I mean, and then when there hasn't been any misses for a few seconds, then it resets back to 0. It's giving you the amount of misses consecutively back to back to back. But that's what I was using to monitor to know which one was actually showing the miss. So what I'm going to try to do is see if I can disconnect the amp and see if this issue still happens. All right, so, and I just want to be clear too, the mist really only happens at idle. It doesn't happen when driving, only at idle. And it can sometimes be rapid fire back to back. Nothing that will, to be all concerned about like that, but it is happening. And of course I want to resolve that, especially since I need to take the emission here in Wisconsin. Emissions is every 2 years. And I want to take the emission before and pass the emission before I put in the supercharger, because once you do those type of modifications, you never know where you're going to end up from a check engine light standpoint. So I want to make sure that I'm legal on the street from a registration standpoint. So I definitely want to make sure that I pass that emissions. So what I want to do is just cut the power cable on here, tape it up, and see if that is still happening. So if that stops happening at that point, it will definitely be the amp. The theory is that the power is from the amp is drawing too much, from the battery alternator. Maybe I need to upgrade my alternator to a larger amperage to compensate for having the amp in here, which wouldn't be the worst thing. All right, we're back inside after disconnecting the amp. And let's see if initially we have any better success. this off over here. Go down to misfires. See if we're recording anything. Right now she's purring like a kitten. I'm probably going to do this for the next day or two just to see, because right now no misfire. So it's not consistent. Like I said earlier, sometimes it purrs like a kitten and sometimes it wants to backfire. So I'll try this over and over again in different scenarios just to see if anything is causing that. Right now I'm liking the results, but I don't want to get too confident without putting it under other situations to see if I can trigger those misfires. All right, so from what I can tell, after driving around for a bit, taking over time, putting it under a different situation, that appears to have resolved the issue. But also to be safe too, because it was only affecting cylinder number 2. So although the voltage draw from the amp may have been overall affecting it, I wonder why was it limited to cylinder number 2. So what I'm going to do next is, we have direct injection engines, meaning, well, as far as this is concerned, what that would mean is that it builds up a lot of carbon on the back of the valves. So what I'm going to do is use some particular cleaner that will remove a good portion of that buildup of carbon that builds up over time on our engines. Those can give you poor performance, affect your gas mileage, and in times could even lead to a misfire if the buildup is big enough. I even know one guy who had a problem with low compression on one of his cylinders. They thought that that one was shot, but after they referred to the General Motors manual about that, they tried their suggestion first, which was to do the cleaning to get the carbon off of it, and he did that, and actually he got back to full compression, and that's all he needed was a good cleaning of the carbon. So I'm gonna do another video, keep an eye out for it. We'll give that a try and see if that works out for us. So thanks for joining. Definitely hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.